Hi there. Thank you for waiting in line so patiently. I know that at this time of year when you're just getting into your classes that sometimes there are some waits when you want to speak to any counselor or advisor. But don't worry, I'm here now to help you, and I understand that you are a first-year student, so you will need a little bit of guidance in your program. And so today I'm here to help you become familiar with the course content you'll be dealing with this year, and let you know what kind of course load you'll be having. And then my primary function within that is to introduce you to the textbooks that you're going to be using throughout the next year and so on as you continue through your program. I am working for the Arts and Humanities faculty, and I understand that your department is art history. Yes. Yeah, we have a lot of students now that are very interested in our art history program because they realize that there's a lot of museum and curatorial work involved upon graduation. So yeah, let's continue on and look at some of the books that you will be working with. So I'll start chronologically and then work through specific genres. The first class you'll be taking is a class on Romanesque art. Now, this is one of the primary eras of art that you'll be covering. This focuses on mostly architecture because at the time all they had were illuminated manuscripts, and although we do consider this art today, it's not understood as art in art terms that you might understand in the contemporary sense. So it's not paintings. These are people who were scribes who were rewriting works, and they tended to add some small illustrations into their works. Think of it as kind of like a picture book, but without many pictures. So that's why in your Romanesque art book, you'll be dealing with a lot of architecture and architectural designs. As you can see here, this is just one example. It's beautiful, I know. You're very lucky to be in this program. So that's where you start off. And then from Romanesque, you will transition into the ever-famous Renaissance period. And now you're dealing with the history of Italian Renaissance art. There is another period called the Northern Renaissance, but because this one has much more content, it is more relevant to your program. So in this, you will be starting from where the Romanesque period ends, and you will go all the way up to the 1500s, I believe, at the end of the 16th century. Again, in this, there is a very dominant focus on architecture. By the end of this year, you will have so much knowledge on architecture. You could go on a trip to Italy or anywhere in Europe and basically tour guide through many areas because you will have accumulated such a wealth of knowledge after studying architecture. As you can see, this is a very large book, and that is because we do have a lot of information on the Italian Renaissance. As it says, it's dealing with architecture, painting, and sculpture. I'll just flip through the book so you can get kind of general idea of what you're dealing with. Here we have some floor plans of a cathedral. Here you're dealing with sculpture. These tend to be sculptures on the outside, so the facade of the building, or decoration on the inside. I want to find you a very famous painting to sort of put you in your comfort zone. I know it's a bit daunting dealing with this period because if you're not familiar with Italian and the Italian language, memorizing some of the names can be sort of challenging. Here we have a Raphael painting. It's the Transfiguration of Christ. Yeah, it's beautiful as well. So this book you'll definitely need. And once we get out of the Italian Renaissance, again we transition chronologically into the next period. Here you'll be focusing on 19th century art and critical history. So this is transitioning from the 1700s. You're going from classicism to romanticism. And you'll be dealing with a lot of the dichotomies that existed between these two periods. This is very similar to the sort of struggle that we see in the Baroque period with the Renaissance. You have emotion versus structure. And that is one of the main focuses of this textbook here. You're also dealing with the fact that at this time there is the onset of industrialism, and this has a profound effect on the way that art is made and how art is perceived. So you will start to get into a lot of philosophy and art theory, again, as the book says, critical thinking. And of course, critical thinking is one of, if not the most important aspects of post-secondary education. This is going to be something that you'll cover probably in your second year, but you may choose to pick it up as an elective in your second term of first year. And this is the period called Art Nouveau. This period is very special because it's like the arts and crafts movement that you will become familiar with. It's summoning this ideal of naturalism and anti-industrialism. So at this point, at the turn of the 20th century, you have this battle between periods like Art Nouveau and arts and crafts, and the emergence of more popular, I want to say commercial art. And so this is a very organic and very respected period in art history. It does span all the way from England to Russia. It was a bit of a fleeting period, perhaps avant-garde too avant-garde for its time. But the work is stunning, and you will really grow to appreciate how meticulous and thoughtful these artists were during the Art Nouveau period. there's pottery and furniture, paintings and installations. This period really does encompass a lot of mediums. So here we have this sort of atrium, and the room actually does appear to have this very edgy and modern look to it. Almost something that you might see today. And yet, this structure and all of its interior design was built in 1901. Yeah. Have you seen anything like this before? No? Well, I hope you enjoy it. It's a very eye-opening experience, especially for art lovers. Yeah. Did you want to see anything else? No? Okay, that's alright. No, that's fine. As you get into art history, you'll really discover what periods interest you. So I'm just trying to help you figure out what things might pique your interest in the future. Okay, yeah, I can write this down for you. I'll make a note of the book, so if you want to go to the library to pick it up, you can. Yeah, okay. Perfect, yes. Well, no, I do hope you take that class. And if you do, there is one artist here, Alfonso Mucha, and he is probably one of the more famous Art Nouveau artists. Yeah, his work is beautiful. It's a very ethereal and detailed. Just by the cover, I think you get an idea of what kind of artist he was. Yeah. He was very, very talented. I think very underestimated. Here you can see that he did a lot of commercial art. Yeah, it's an ad for a product, and a lot of his work was actually used in advertisements, although it doesn't appear that he was very set on being a commercial artist. People still admired his work and pursued him for those ends. So I recommend that book as well. I can write that down for you, sure. It's just gonna go in your file. And you know where the library is, yeah? Yeah, it's just on campus. It's across from the student center. And if you do need any help, there are pamphlets just outside my office, and it'll give you exact directions to our main library, as well as directions to our secondary and tertiary library. Yeah. There's a lot of books on campus. Okay, so once you do branch out of these very common and well-practiced periods, you can start to pick your own, like I said, your own areas of expertise or your own areas of interest. So one book that I have, this is a very popular course and I do recommend it. It's part of our Art and Feminist Theory course. This textbook, A World of Our Own, Women as Artists Since the Renaissance, covers basically women who are not considered to be famous, and that is because there is a sort of male-dominated narrative within art history itself. Not to say that women didn't make art, but our record of art history consciously chooses to omit a lot of female artists, and we don't have a lot of biographies on these female artists, so we could have their work, but we don't know a lot about them. So this book it's very well encompasses all of the female artists that you should become familiar with, and don't be worried or discouraged if you're not a feminist. This class is not meant to persuade you towards feminist theory. It's simply trying to open up your eyes to kind of what it says, another world, which the more traditional male-centered, Euro-centered kind of narrative does tend to draw on. So take this class, and yes, I hope you enjoy it, and I certainly hope that you can put this in as one of your electives for your program. Okay, so this is a book from a class which is often looked down upon because it deals a lot with philosophy, and some art history students aren't quite ready to get into philosophy. They don't expect it to be a part of their program, but trust me, this is a very, very valuable book. Yes, this book deals with aesthetics, and aesthetics is basically analyzing, critiquing, and deconstructing the visual aspects of a painting, why people paint what they paint, how they painted it, in what manner, with what intent. You'll be covering a lot of philosophers like Hegel and Kant, as well as Plato, Aristotle, Wolflin, a lot of contemporary philosophers as well, and also art historians who act as a good counterpart to more ancient philosophers. This book is comes as a requirement for one of your compulsory classes. Yes. And if you hear from any second-year students that they did not enjoy this class, don't listen to them. They probably did poorly. It is a class where you have to do your homework, of course, but if you do, you will be rewarded, and you will come out knowing a lot more about art theory. So, yeah. This is another popular book that we have, and it's from a very popular class. This is a manga book. Now, this is going to break down the history of manga for you and give lots of examples on classic manga. Yeah, you can see here. I think a lot of students are very tempted to take this course on manga because it definitely doesn't have that old, dusty, antique feeling to it that a lot of students get when practicing, perhaps from the Renaissance or the Romanesque period. Manga is very popular now in Western society. It does originate from Japan and has quite a cult following universally. So I would definitely recommend this class if you are willing to try something new and exciting, and perhaps want to experience the more contemporary side of art. Yeah. Oh, you have a friend that took this course. Okay. Yeah, did they like it? Yeah. Oh, they're a graphic artist now? Yeah, that is actually a very popular field. Mm. Oh, I hope they're doing very well. So those are all the books that I would like to cover with you today. I hope it wasn't too much of an overwhelming experience for you. I understand though that you do feel this way perhaps because, like I said, this is a new campus for you and a new program. So if you ever need any help, you are more than welcome to schedule another appointment with me. I would be happy to walk you through a possible program path, what courses you can take to design your overall program. And of course, we do have a student council from this faculty. So if you do need any peer help, I suggest that as a great resource to take advantage of. Do you have any questions? Yes, the books are expensive, unfortunately. The professors do try to pick the most reasonably priced textbooks for students. We understand that university is not cheap. No. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you for visiting me today. I hope you enjoyed this experience. And yeah, I hope your first year is amazing. It was nice to meet you too. Perfect. Okay, well, enjoy the rest of your day.